everybody, Aaron Prime 117 is here again, and woohoo! Oh, wow, I sounded like Mario just now. Welcome to movie review number 2 of the movies I saw in 2023. And if you can tell by my ears, it's a Disney movie, and if you remember from the list, what movie did I see which was Disney? Well, there was a couple, but if you don't know already, here it is. Look to my left, which is your right, and you will see The Little Mermaid. Hey, 2023. Well, I meant to say that live action though, but hey, what can you do? Yes, this is the movie review for The Little Mermaid. Hey, starring Halle Bailey. I just hope I said her name right though. Oh, when I saw that movie, around the month it came out, not around, I saw it the month. It was so cool to see and all because thinking back to the classic Little Mermaid, played by Jodie Benson, it was so cool and all. And speaking of mentioning Jodie Benson and all though, for those of you who saw reports or reviews on the news for the red carpet premiering of this movie, Jodie Benson herself guest starred or as a VIP in a very special surprise for the film. Though, because when she appeared and Halle saw her and all, it looked like she was gonna break into tears, and just to see the original little Ariel, like that was like so amazing and all. And like this movie itself and all though it was so cool and all, even though I already said that, but I just can't help it and all. I love Disney movies and all, and getting into the live action movies, there was a lot that was covered in all though. And one thing I did notice from these live action movies, most of the scenes that were done in all though, they were played almost just like the classics. And also what was included were extra songs and all. Like, of course in The Little Mermaid, we do have some of the classic songs, especially Under the Sea, and Kiss the Girl, and what was it? Fathoms Below. Of course, Fathoms Below was done on a whole lot different than it was in the classic. But enough to that bit, though. Like, 2 new songs that were included that I really liked were Wild Uncharted Waters, sung by Prince Eric, who was played by... Who did he play by? Oh, yes, by my... as I've written on the board, Jonah Hauer King. I hope I said his first name right, though. But anyway, the way he sung that song was so impressive and all. Out on the shoreline, listening into Ariel's singing voice for when she rescued him and all. And like, how do I put this? And all. It's like listening to the sound of the siren and all. And of course, if you remember for like the songs of the sirens and all, that's like a female demon and all though. And that's in some kind of like cartoons and stuff though. But for a mermaid, it's very enchanted. Makes you wonder when you look up images like that and all though, and cool videos that are redone and all though. Oh, it's all pretty natural and all. And when he said the song Into Wild Uncharted Waters, or his bit from the shoreline and all though every bit to that though was so cool and all. Although, and how the song then went into ending with him back on a ship again, wanting to find that secret siren and voice. And all, it was pretty impressive. Not to mention, like, how do I put this? Because he was very interested in voyages and all too. Though, if I remember from Eric from the classic Little Mermaid and all though he did love being on the sea as well though. But naturally and all, that was pretty cool and all. And then we have Ariel's new song, For the First Time. Now, if you're probably thinking of the title For the First Time, you're probably thinking of Frozen with Anna singing that song for the first time in forever. Pity though, no, it's not though, because that title is also half the title or 3/4 of the title from that song itself. And that song is Halle singing in about how she's on land and all, everything that she had learned from what she had collected from the humans and all, from her grotto, and then like, how do I put this? Moments and all, like she's on land and all, and it's all pretty like interesting and all. First time in forever, she's on land, and she's singing about it all. Pretty cool and slick and all too, and all. Not to mention it's so attractive and all, like all those cool moments and all like she sees a fire and it pricks it and it bites like it hurt, and it hurts though because it bites her like it's her with the heat. That moment was pretty cool and all. Kind of reminded me of Pinocchio from the classics when he touched that fire and all. Although, and Geppetto just quickly, he panics and tries to find water to put his finger out. And yet, Pinocchio's not feeling a thing. Well, of course, he's a puppet, made of wood. But, of course, naturally, that's how the funny side goes to it. And then further into that song, it was like, it was so magical and all. Well, experiencing everything that was from the human world and what she was being put through and all. Getting cleaned up, being and taken care of, and then put into a dress. That was amazing and all. Like, the feel of it all. And then when Eric is approaching and all, it's like she's finally reunited. But of course, she can't talk, though. So it's like her mind singing in the background. And of course, with the included of it, though before the song ended, with her singing it with her voice again. No, but still, pretty majestic. Like and all of it was covered so well and all. Now, let's go into a couple of scenes and all that I really liked. Like, after the opening that was taken on the ship, which wasn't Fathoms Below, of course, we have Triton's daughter is all together, and then Triton appears. And cool thing that the guy who played Triton was none other than Javier Bardem and all. Like, I recognized his voice a little bit, though. Oh, but then it shook me, though. Shocked and shook the... What's the right word to use? Like, it was like a revelation, though, because I knew I'd heard his voice before in another movie, but I couldn't remember what it was when I saw that movie. You know. Oh, and I don't know if this is relevant, though, but I saw the movie with my department manager from where I work at, with her and her family. It was quite a fun thing, too. Who, hope she likes this when she sees it. But also, when Javier was playing Triton, he did have a cool tone to it when he was voicing him, and not to mention like what else is there? Oh yeah, he was pretty funny in ways too, the way he spoken and all though. And who did he remind me of now? Yes, it turns out he was also the one who played Captain Salazar from Dead Man Tell No Tales from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I knew it was someone I recognized, but I just couldn't remember where, though. And truth be told, I saw Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man Tell No Tales back in college, as for a school assignment, actually, in one of my writing classes. But that was natural, though. Now, going back into it, how do I put this and all? The way Javier was playing Triton and all, though, he was tough. He was harsh. Or just like the guy who played Triton in the classic. But I can't remember who played Triton in the classic, though. Oh, but he did a great job, though. Oh, and like... and when he first said, Sebastian... and then when Sebastian was crawling away, though, when he quickly put his finger down like that, and Sebastian was, oof! Oh, he said, you're supposed to see to it that Ariel was here. And Sebastian, who was voiced by... Who did he voice? Oh, yeah, by David Diggs. It was even funnier, than the classic. Well, I'd say the guy who played Sebastian in the classic, and as well as David Diggs in the live action, even though I can't remember who played him in the classic. If you all remember who played him, who played both Sebastian and Triton in the classic, sound it off in the comments, okay? Now, as for the other part though, that David played with as Sebastian, it was pretty funny and all, though. Though, not to mention, like, the way he spoke to Ariel, and then later on came Under the Sea and all, though. When that moment came, though, that was my first time hearing a guy sing like he was from the Caribbean or from Jamaica and all. And it was pretty good, too, and all. Live action style, Under the Sea, with all the sea creatures and cool little organisms, was dancing along to the song and all. Like, it really made me want to jam and all, though, too. And it was also the song used in the credits too. Like, that was so amazing and all. Well, I'm actually hoping, there's another movie actually though too. I'd like to see Halle Bailey do another performance. It was pretty cool and all. Well, I would like. What am I thinking about? Oh yeah, I would love to see her do another special performance at the Walt Disney parks. Like, I remember seeing her perform Part of Your World at Disneyland for a celebration. And it'd be pretty awesome to see her perform at the Magic Kingdom in Disney World. I'm not lying on that. Or like maybe her and Jodie Benson side by side. That would be pretty cool. I gotta stop saying pretty cool. I gotta use some more words, don't I? Now, let's talk a little bit about Ursula, voiced by Melissa McCartney. I couldn't have guessed it was Melissa McCartney playing Ursula, though, because I don't think I've seen too many or seen any films or shows where she's performed in. But she did a great job, though. The demonic look of a sea witch and all. It was pretty intense, though. And if I had to say, maybe the live action style of her lair here, it was either equally or a little more frightening than what the classic was. But still, it felt demonic, it felt haunted, and then all. I felt kind of freaked out just a little bit. But I didn't show it, though, even when I saw the movie. Yet I saw that movie twice, though. I don't even know how far I'm going. Now, let's go into another scene. Like, let's see. Another scene I was going to mention. Oh, yes. On the ocean. And all, though. Well, let's see here. Let's see. Ah, yes. When Ariel first saw Eric and all on the ship and all, when she saw that ship and the fireworks being shot off from the sky and all, though, that's when the song was being sung by Eric and his men, which was Fathoms Below. Of course, it just sounded like it was coming off a concertina or an accordion, which was pretty cool. And all. A lot was shown, which was pretty good, though, and then came the storm, though. Just like in the classic and all, the storm, the big hurricane storm that swept through the ocean and put the ship on full alert. All hands on deck and all, though. That scene, it felt more intense as it did before. And all. And then when the ship struck the rocks and all, although everything was just on fire and burning all over. And all. Well, that was pretty rough and all, though. Though it did feel almost as breathtaking and pretty as intense as it, or it could have been more intense as the classic, though. With Eric saving Eric and then going unconscious in the water and then Ariel saving him and all. It all played out so well and all, though. I got to give Disney great credit for that one and all. It was so good and all, though. I didn't know what to think. And all. Really amazing. And then we have those other moments under the sea and all, though, with Ariel and her sisters and Trident and the sea creatures. Like Ariel's sisters despising humans, as well as Trident as well, clearing up the wreckage and debris that had fallen from the ship, probably afterwards. That was kind of strange and all, though. Of course, I don't think there was a moment like that in the classic, though. But it was a good addition, too. Not to mention, the sisters were still able to see Ariel's little strange behavior and all. Of course, that moment was when they realized they could tell she was in love. And yet Trident didn't know. Oh, but it was different in the live action, though. More or less, though. And, what else, came about? Yeah, and then, now comes a scene, when Ariel was in her grotto and then Trident appeared. It was a little different than it was in the classic, though. But, of course, then we have the destruction bit, though. Oh, played and all. Well, the way Javier said, "I swear I'll get through to you," and all, that almost shook me a little bit, though, when he started destroying the grotto and all. But he wasn't being as, before he started doing that, he wasn't being as, seriously brutal or serious or as Trident was in the classic, mostly being And like he said this, you broke the rules and all. On Ariel admitted it though, and just like he was more like this. That's enough. That's enough. And then when Ariel said, and Eric had nothing to do with it, he was like, Eric, have you lost your mind? You know, he's a human. You're a mermaid. Like then comes the intense moment in between the two before where Triton goes and destroys the grotto. That was intense though. So, just as intense as Triton destroyed it in the classic though. Of course, to mimic like that and be like it was in the classic and all though, you really gotta match up to it and all. Quite tough and all though. I give Javier good points for that one. And then now, what else? Ah yes, let's think about when Ariel reunited with Eric and they were on land, and Eric took Ariel out for the day. That was a good scene too. Going around from the village and the neighborhood stalls and all, and then seeing that Caribbean party and all though, that was pretty cool and all. Like it was a cool bazaar. Yeah, like a bazaar. Yeah, bazaar. That's what they say. I think they call them bazaars in there's like in the Aladdin film. I remember. Like the marketplace, you could call that like a bazaar. Shopping stalls and everything for people and all that fun stuff. But then comes the moment in where Ariel gets to try out the carriage and all. I'd say it was a little more intense than maybe equally as intense as the one from the classic though. Of course, Ariel just went right at it with the carriage and all. Jumping over that cliff in the classic was pretty fun. And all though it had Eric freaking out, but in the live action though, Eric was like having the time of his life with it and all. I mean, I'd have the time of my life going on a fast ride like that. Of course, I would want to make sure of being careful and all. Like that was all pretty fun and all. And then later on comes the scene, Kiss the Girl. Well, the way that song was done with Scuttle and all though, going all, who played Scuttle again? From the board, it was played by Scuttle was played by Aquafina. Yes, Aquafina. That was a surprise for me though. I'd only heard of her in some way though, but she did a great job playing Scuttle and all though. But in the classic, Scuttle I think was voiced by a guy, I believe though. But I say both versions of Scuttle were pretty good though. The only new surprising bit that I saw with Scuttle and all, though, was that he was able to come under the water and talk to Ariel in that one scene before Ariel went to be scolded by her father. If you all know that scene pretty well and all, comparing that to the classic and all, though, give your thoughts about it in the comments. Of course, I really like that moment too. But back to Kiss the Girl, though. The song was done pretty well, not pretty well, but amazingly though. Like percussion, strings, winds, words. It's all together and all. Just like it was in the classic and all though. Played out pretty well. It also felt so magical and all too. Like just like when when the finale was coming, all the sea creatures that were in the lagoon area were swimming around the boat, and then all the magic with the fireflies was coming around too. It felt so magical even in the live action one too. And of course Flotsam and Jetsam had to ruin it and all by flipping the boat. That I kind of wish it could have been a little different though, but of course it had to play out the same way. But still, great scene, great play-by-play, so good and all. Although it felt like I was back watching the classic as a kid again. And well, actually it did. Why I say like, it does make sense. And in some way, when you watch a live action remake, it should feel like you're watching the classic again, but just a little more intense. Further on, then we got into Ariel seeing Eric with another woman and all though. But of course, we all know who that woman was, aka Vanessa, also known as Ursula. But trying to ruin everything because apparently Ursula what's the word for it? Underestimated Ariel. Well, actually, though, because she was getting so close to Eric, it's like she would succeed. And then later, yada yada, and all, we get into the moment and all when Scuttle finds the truth and all, though, that Ursula is Vanessa in disguise. That was pretty intense. And although, of course, I don't know which way of that scene would look better. And although, if you have your thoughts on it, sound off in the comments. And of course, then we get to the party crashing and all. Though, of course, that was done at the castle, like as into the classic. It was done on the ship or the wedding boat, you know. Oh, that's Scuttle trying to interrupt and all, though, and then Ariel was showing up to get her voice back. And in the classic, Scuttle and the sea creatures just stall the wedding and all, while Flounder gets Ariel to the boat. But of course, in the way the revelation comes when Ariel gets her voice back, heck, she yanks it from Vanessa's neck. Heck, whereas in Scuttle actually pulls it off from her after Max does bites her in the you know what and all, making her scream and all. Although, and then breaks open, and you can hear Ariel's voice, and then it flies right back into her. Or then, a few seconds just before Ariel and Eric kiss, although, bam, she's back to a mermaid, and all. That was pretty good and all. Yeah, it kind of feels like I'm spoiling it all, though. But I'm going to stop there for a moment, though, because I'm now going to go into something else, though, with the movie. The setting, everything was done well and all, though. So the way the movie was done and under the sea and all, though, of course, we all know how the setup was done and all, though. All for those who have seen behind the scenes and all, though. But I won't say anything about that because you got to see it yourself, actually, though. And like, it all was done so well and all. Movements, majestic setups, music, cool designs and all. I could not have wished for a better live action. Of course, I've enjoyed other classic live action remakes like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and I think I saw Cinderella and Maleficent, if I can remember. But anyway, though, if you remember well about the ending and all, though, you can tell what it was like compared to the classic and all. Just, it all was so wonderful and magical and all. Well, even though they were both different, though, still wonderful, still magical. Well, it made you feel like you were watching the same thing, but just done a little differently, though. And of course, it was all just, how do I put this? Magical, majestic, full of Disney love and inspiration, and all. And the characters, everyone did such a great job too. And the guy who played the kid who played Flounder, he did good too. I think he was a teen, I believe, too. What was his name again? And oh yeah, Jacob Tremblay. You know, he did pretty good and all, though. Though comparing to the original Flounder and all, though, wasn't too bad. And all. And of course, we have Grimsby as well, played by Art Malik, I believe. Yeah, he did great too and all, though. Like, it wasn't like the original Grimsby, though. Oh, but it was pretty funny and all, though. So, there was just a whole lot to the movie and all. Well, really gives you great love and inspiration for Disney and all. Well, but of course, as they say, nothing beats the classics and all, though. Which is true, though. But if the live action can be done to almost reach that bit, it's real good and all, though. And I say this one did pretty well, too. As so did Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. So, when you all see this movie and all, though, I hope you enjoyed it and all, too. Remember, in your dreams, you can be part of this world, too. And even when you grow up, there's no harm in still watching classics and live-action remakes. And also, when you dream, you can imagine yourself being in Ariel's position, too. Following up the same way. Of course, it only happens in your sleep and imagination. And But some might say, hey, there can be something similar in real life. Who knows? You might just end up going that same route. But now it's time to wrap things up. So, before I bring this to an end, let me just say this. The movie was great. I can't wait to watch it again in some way, though. Maybe I'll get it on digital or see it on Xfinity one day. But still, it was all so lovable and majestic. So much magic in live action style. I'm always going back to watch the classic then. Then maybe watch them side by side in cool clips. But still, there's a lot more coming and all, so I hope you all enjoyed this one. And I know it might sound like a spoiler and all, though, but trust me, I was just covering everything and all that's been around for a while, because it's been, and I think, almost a year since the movie was released. Almost. Not there yet, but I'm pretty sure maybe half or a little more than half of the population has seen it now. And overseas, too. So, moving along now. I got about, maybe, let's see, 7 more movies to cover or so. I hope you all enjoy watching this one, and you'll enjoy the rest of them. So, I'll see you all when the next movie review is coming. Don't blink. It could be... Don't blink. Meant to say, like, don't worry, it's gonna come your way. Hey, just won't be too fast, though. Or could it? Well, anyway... I hope you all enjoyed this review of The Little Mermaid and all. I'll see you all soon in the next video, which will be another review. Of course. See you all soon. Aaron Prime 117, When You Wish Upon a Star, and signing off.